On this week's broadcast, we take an inside look at the inner workings of one of the largest organizations, LOL IPFW Esports.
We sit down with Campus Ministry, another organization, to talk about this year's poker fundraiser.
We also sit down with Alexander Sanderson and James Hobbs to talk about the IPFW Management Agreement. Hello everyone, I'm Logan Torres.
And I'm James Malcolm, and this is the IPFW Media Board. Here are some updates about what's going on around campus. First, we have the October 6th Nearly Naked Mile Run. Students can donate clothes to the Fort Wayne Rescue to get entered into the run, and then they go out and run in the buff.
Hundreds of students are lined up at the starting line today, and they're nearly naked, but don't worry, it's all for a good cause. During the 4th annual Nearly Naked Mile at IPFW, students showed off their school spirit while supporting a good cause.
The Nearly Naked Mile is a unique clothing drive for the Fort Wayne Rescue Mission, and the slogan is, "Do you care enough to run in the buff?"
The event can be described as literally donating the clothing off of your back and then running the mile.
But it's about the clothing donation. So if you have spare clothing, anything that you're not using, we'll definitely take that from you and it will go to people who need it.
A representative from the rescue mission was also present at the event, taking over 1,000 donations from students.
It's a way of bringing in clothing and things like that for less fortunate people that we serve.
I like it. I think we should have more events like this.
I agree,
I think it's fun.
It is a lot of fun, and it's nice that it's going to a good cause.
Reporting live from the IPFW campus, where all of the fun is taking place, I'm Roma Siddiqui with Macedon Entertainment Hub.
Are you strong enough to do that, Logan?
You know, I've been working on my body for a while now in the gym. I've been hitting the free weights the past 2 weeks or so I think I'm getting there. Just another week or so, I might be ready.
All right, well, I'll see you there.
Yeah, you certainly will. The Helmke Library looks to be ahead of schedule. When the library opens, we can expect new work areas, new computers, and a whole new look. I'm actually really excited about this one.
Me too. I think all of the renovations they've been doing around campus have brought everything to a whole new level.
Yeah, even the one in Keller, I was just talking with some friends today. It looks amazing. It's awesome to sit up there. I really enjoy working up there.
IPFW has a new event coordinator, Jason Anderson. Our very own Liz Fisher sits down with Jason for a few quick questions about his position.
My name is Jason Anderson, and I'm the new activities coordinator for Student Life. This is my third day today, so basically my job is to oversee and assist orgs within Student Life. Some of the events that are coming up in like next week that we're kind of excited about. We have the Student Organization Fair, which is going to be on October 4th and 5th. We have the Nearly Naked Mile on October 6th, and then we have our fall retreat, student leadership retreat that's coming up on the 21st and 22nd. The other big thing I'm excited about too is that we're going to look at revamping next year the training for new and returning officers for all the student orgs. My office is Wall 214B, and then my number is 481-6637. Email address is ANDER sjs@ipfw.edu.
Yeah, so I met James, the last one. He was a really cool guy, so now I'm excited to meet Jason. I want to see what he's able to do.
I've actually met Jason. I think Jason is going to do a wonderful job at his position.
LOL IPFW Esports has been on campus for 3 years. They've gone from a few dozen students to over 300 now. I had the chance to talk with the LOL IPFW Esports treasurer, Trenton Lemon, about the specifics of the organization.
My name is Trenton Lemon. I'm the treasurer for LOL IPFW. LOL IPFW is a esports club on campus that was originally for League of Legends specifically and has branched out over the past couple of years to encompass all of the other esports games.
What is esports exactly? Could you give us a definition, let some of the viewers that don't know exactly what that is know?
Esports is it's electronic sports. I mean, they're sporting events with video games being the form of competition. It's open to anybody. Basically, the only criteria to be a member of the club is basically be a person. To be a member of any of our teams, you have to be an IPFW student. We have major events about 4 times a year, and then we have monthly Thursday night meetings as well as Friday night game nights.
LO IPFW is known as the largest club on campus. Do you see a large amount of success continuing in the future?
Definitely. Every event that I've been to since I've been here has been bigger and better.
What is the next step for LO IPFW?
Fine-tuning our varsity teams. What we would like to see next, at least from my perspective, is start to be recognized on the collegiate scene.
I'm Christopher Dudkovich. I've been with the club since the beginning. The first year it started was when James and I were both freshmen 3 years ago. And I've been pretty much every meeting, every tournament since then.
What do you feel this club has brought to campus?
I think it's brought a lot of gamers together.
What is your opinion about esports? Do you see it as a beneficial aspect that the campus should more formally introduce? Or is it something you think should stay a club aspect?
If it became like a college sport, I mean it is in some colleges, that would be awesome.
Do you feel that a club like this could encourage students to put on the back burner their academic work, or do you think that there's a healthy balance?
There definitely is a balance, and you need to be vigilant about it. You can't just, play League 24/7 and not do your schoolwork. I encourage people to, if they're into gaming and don't play League, to try it out, come to the club meetings, and see how you like it. It's definitely a great atmosphere.
I heard they recently had a large esports tournament over the weekend. How'd that go?
Really awesome. It's actually the group stage for the League of Legends World Championship final, and they continue through the entire month. There are hundreds of thousands of people watching online right now.
Sounds like it's something you're pretty passionate about. That's pretty exciting.
So what is Campus Ministry and what can it do for students at IPFW? Campus Ministry is an organization where we focus on Christ-centered community. So what we're trying to do is have a place where people can go and build their relationship with others and then also with Christ. And so what it can do for the community at IPFW is really help those people who are maybe searching for who God is or what God is, or even people who have a relationship with Christ. They can come with other believers and further their relationship with God in an open, free environment. Tonight's fundraiser is for a school in India, and the cool thing is we actually got to go to that school. In 2014, we took a missions trip to this school and got to see the students there. And that school is really special because a lot of students, especially in that area, live under extreme poverty, and a lot of them don't get the opportunity to go to school, and if they do, it's not a school that provides an English education, which in Indian society is very, very helpful for them to develop their career and get out of that rural setting and start living a life where they have a better level of life, comfort, and living and that sort of thing. So it's actually for that school. We're trying to raise enough money to put students through school and help them graduate. So it started off, I believe, 20 years ago. Dr. Gates started the group, and he started off with 6 people just coming a little every week, kind of doing like a little Bible study thing. And it's grown to include 50 people. I believe this year we have six Bible studies. And then we also do retreats and different things. So it's really developed over the years. It's become something that's not only a Wednesday night get together, but it's also Bible studies and retreats and different ways for people to plug in and have a good time and get to know Christ.
What other events can we look forward to from Campus Ministry?
One that I'm personally really looking forward to is our winter retreat, which is in February. So to join Campus Ministry, we meet every Wednesday night at 7, so anyone can come during that time.
What kinds of games have you been playing tonight?
So far we've played Texas Hold'em, but I want to go play blackjack.
Yeah, we've been playing Texas Hold'em, and I got a full house.
Are you having fun tonight?
Yes, very.
Yes, I'm having a lot of fun. It's really great.
For more information on joining campus ministry and fundraising, you can visit Wall Student Union Room 211.
For those of you who have not heard, there's been a lot of controversy over the management structure of IPFW. We got to talk to Vice President of Legislation Alexander Sanderson about the IPFW management agreement.
My name is Alexander Sanderson. I'm the Vice President of Legislation and the President of the Senate. So the LSA is basically a strategic review by the state legislature. So this is outside of our control. And basically they set forth recommendations for IPFW mainly because we have a management agreement between IU and Purdue, obviously, because we're IPFW. And the management agreement basically is supposed to be renewed every 4 years. And so our last management agreement was supposed to be renewed in 2014. It was pushed back to 2015, and it has now been pushed back to 2016. And as of this year, it has been pushed back to 2021. So the main reason why it's been pushed back is because IU and Purdue are basically trying to work with each other to see who's going to control the campus from here on out. So it's a public document. Basically, it showcases everything that IPFW's done right and everything that IPFW's done wrong. And right now, things are looking at Purdue taking over sole management of IPFW. So right now, we are managed by IPFW. Our population, however, is 60% IU. So that's where the complications kind of arise because we're an IU-dominated campus run by Purdue. So basically the rundown is that IU wants us. Obviously, it's a big moneymaker. Purdue does not want to give us up for obvious reasons. But it's also saying now that IU's interest is now only in the health sciences. What they want to do is kind of treat it like the IU medical building, which is just, down Macedon Way, is to control the health sciences program in the medical building and give Purdue the rest of the campus. The understanding that I have is that regardless, student success will not change here, and that's what the students need to know. We will be grandfathered in, so every enrolled student right now would be grandfathered in. Every new student coming in would be under that new management agreement. The management extension was extended till 2021 unless decided by this December. So so in case they don't have a decision, because they failed to make a decision in the past 2 years, they have that safety net of we're just going to extend it until this certain date. Hopefully we come to an agreement by this date, but we plan to do it earlier. I would just say stay informed, stay up to date on the process, just because this is gonna be a huge change for IPFW. These next few months are gonna be dramatic. I mean, it's gonna affect the future of IPFW. It's gonna affect a lot of students here, and the reputation may be destroyed. 52 years of hard work is at stake right now. So it's imperative that us as students stay involved, stay up to date, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that are getting affected the most. The widespread media has been covering it. I would encourage you to stay up to date on True Blue. Student government's going to send out updates as best as we can. Again, this is all public information. You can find it on Indiana's website, IPFW's website.
And now we take a quick break for this week's IPFW student submission. After the break, we interview James Hops about the IPFW management agreement.
All right, so how long have you been president of the PTA?
Gosh, feels like just yesterday. All right, folks, it's time for another wonderful meeting of ours. I know we're all happy to be here. I'm happy that you can be here too. I think we should start this off like we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Alrighty, let's stand up and place our hands over our hearts and begin. Gotta say the responsibility and just gonna have everyone there for me and just gonna hang on my word. It's gonna feeling their love. I just feed off their energy is what I feel like. But it can always be stressed. Money is something that we definitely need, and we definitely need to remember, I need it. So I think you all appreciate that.
Do we need money? Could you go over that again? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I might not have been that clear with that.
I suck up to the head guy, and I sometimes take notes.
All right, what's the benefits of sucking up to the big guy?
He stops talking to me, for the most part. Having him talk to anybody else but me for as long as I can is just so important to me.
But yeah, Andy and I, we go together.
No, I hate the guy. He keeps trying to take me on fishing trips. I just want to be left alone.
The open ocean. Well, that reminds me, I was kind of thinking about planning another fishing trip. How does that sound, kind of buddy?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to first start off with the topic of No Child Left Behind, that wonderful policy that we had implemented several years ago. As a very important reminder, I don't want any names to be addressed here, but with No Child Left Behind, students must be promptly picked up at 3. No exceptions. All right, so on to our next topic at hand, school food.
I'm 1 minute late to pick up my little girl, and they're all over me like I did something totally wrong. Can't believe it. And this whole thing with the hair, one hair, you get one hair in the food, and everybody loses their minds. I tell you, if you get one hair, it's a compliment. It's a compliment in my house to get my hair in your food.
Bullying is something that we will not tolerate here at this school. We want to make sure that our kids feel safe, secure, and safe. Safety should be the key priority here at the school, which is a very important and critical topic that our students feel safe. They kind of, topics arise as they go. Mostly I try to find issues and then bring them into the light so that way we can work together on them. As a team that I'm leading, that I can take the credit for. We need a lemonade drive. I think I hit on all the big important issues that we need to address here today. So I know we're only a few weeks into this semester, but I feel like we're really bonding together and coming together as people. So continued success for our students is a top priority here. So as always, I want to say a big thanks to you. And thank you for joining us. Thanks, guys. Look forward to next week. Go team!
Finally, we have an update on the IPSGA USAP report. September 30th, IPSGA will give their final stance on the report while considering IPFW students' opinions and concerns. Thank you for joining us. With us today, we have Vice President of Finance, James Hobbs, here to talk about the LSA. So James, could you tell me a little bit about the LSA, what exactly it is?
LSA is really called the IPFW Management Agreement. LSA is kind of a term we kind of use for a report that came out last January. What's it about is just IU and Purdue would like to discuss make changes to the management here in IPFW. In regards to the LSA report, it suggested separating IU and Purdue at this campus. So you had a separate Purdue entity at Fort Wayne and an IU entity at Fort Wayne rather than an IPFW. So it will be like 2 actual separate universities rather than a one combined one.
So what exactly does this mean for us as students academically? Will we see changes in the way that we register for our classes and where our degrees come from? How will this affect us exactly?
If you're like an engineering major where you get a Purdue degree, you probably won't see a whole lot of changes. If you're like an IU major, like fine arts, you might see a change such as it will become a Purdue degree. For as like registrations, since it will become 2 separate universities on campus, it might be suggesting that you'll have to apply to both rather than apply to one university to have an opportunity at both degrees.
So will we see any of these changes immediately? Will it affect those of us that are already enrolled, or will it just be for those that are new enrollees in the school?
In terms of the LSA report, those that are already enrolled will be grandfathered in to their current program, so there shouldn't be any changes. It will affect future prospect students that would come here.
How early could we see some of these changes being implemented? Are there any changes that we could see right now? Any examples that we could see or hear about?
That will greatly depend on what agreement gets decided on. It could happen as late as 2021, which is the limit of the current extension of IPFW management agreement. It could happen as early as this spring. We don't know. We probably will get a better answer after December.
What kind of say will we as students have in what happens to our university?
Right now, the official entities that are discussing this are not taking opinions right now. That was already done back in spring for the actual LSA report. But now that has passed, and they're going into a new discussion about the management agreement. For us, what kind of input they'll take now on, don't know yet. I would hope they would consider our input once they release a new proposal this coming December.
What is IPSGA doing to make sure that the voice of the student body is heard throughout this process?
Just like we did last spring, we'll try to survey students, try to inform them what is happening. Once we get the plans or the proposal from them in December, we'll definitely try to create some sort of informal session open to students and inform them what may happen, what may not happen, and collect some comments from the students, and from that we can gather all that information and bring that voice to the higher ups.
So if this restructuring of management does in fact happen, will we see a wall dividing our students between Purdue students and IU students? What is that going to look like for us?
Difficult question to answer. What was possibly suggested was that IU will have more control of the health sciences programs here in Fort Wayne, and Purdue take control of the rest. Makes me wonder, what about general education courses for IU students? Are they also going to offer that as well? Or they have to get that from Purdue? And if that's the case, does that also mean they also have to apply to Purdue and IU to get these credits that they need for their degrees?
So if we do see these changes happen, are we going to see very significant changes like an increase in the cost of tuition or even a name change here at IPFW?
That's a very good question. That's a question that I have as well. If there is a name change, that would obviously would have to happen. It would no longer be IPFW, probably Purdue something something or IU something something. But yeah, there's I know a lot of students that come here for both a Purdue or an IU degree. But if we separate that, what does that mean for the finances? Surely the Purdue side will have smaller enrollment, and IU side will also have a smaller enrollment. As far as the answer from them, I don't know. I think Faculty Senate did mention that they would suspect that there will be an increase in tuition because there will also be a decrease in enrollment. So we need to cover some services somehow.
Would you say is the best source to get information about this topic from?
Right now, we don't have any further updates on this topic since last spring. IU and Purdue are still figuring things out, trying to come up with a new proposal. So once that stuff gets released, which is planned in December, student government will probably be your best source of obtaining this information if you're a student.
All right, well, thank you, James, for the interview. This has been Logan Torres, and on behalf of James, Malcolm, and I, thank you for watching IPFW Media Board.